Good, thank you.
Good, man. We'll start with the three changes. One was obviously enforced, but just talk us through Hallam Amos, Kieran Hardy and Owen Lane coming in.
Yeah, we've just swapped the halfbacks over, and they'll probably predetermined set of time for those two, and then we'll look at it again next week. Happy with both of them the way they're going. Wanted to give them both a start early on. In terms of the back three, obviously Lee picking up the injury was pretty disappointing for everybody, but gives an opportunity for us to have a look at somebody else at fullback, and Hallam's got that opportunity this week. Jonah, obviously, we got to saw him at 15, but he starts again on the wing, which is where we wanted to have a look at him last week. So, and Owen Lane being the other one, he's trained very, very well, been out of the game for a while. So for us, it's again a learning process. Give him the opportunity to put his hand up and see how he goes, obviously at this level against a very good side. So then we'll just reassess things next week. But in terms of the side, not a lot of changes. We went into the Canadian game using that as a hit out in preparation so that these boys could get some combinations. So we've been pretty lucky outside of Lee that everyone came through that first game.
Just in terms of Tom Rogers, Wayne, anything he can work on from last week, which obviously drops out the squad?
Yeah, look, he'll be back in line next week for consideration. So. Look, he enjoyed his first start. He learnt a lot. There are a couple of errors in his game which he'll be working on. He's been working on in training, and general fitness levels. I think a lot of the guys are finding that what they do in terms of preparation at club level, they need to be a little bit fitter for this level of the game, and he's in that category with a lot of the other young players.
Just Argentina, when they didn't have that convincing a win over Romania, but what are you expecting from them this weekend?
Yeah, big step up for them. That would have been a hit out. Bringing their squad together, they come from a lot of different areas. So look, we're not too phased by that particular performance. It's really looking at what they're capable of, and we know that only too well looking at their matches against Australia and New Zealand. So now we're expecting a very, very committed and a very capable side taking part on the weekend.
What pleased you most about last weekend, Wayne?
Just the fact that we got to get 5 players a taste at this level, and a couple of them are going to get that opportunity again this week, or 3 of them. So look, it was great to see guys get their first experience at this level. It was great for Lee to get to that milestone, even though he got the injury. And then it was good to see some of the combinations that we've been working on and training, some of the things come off. So now what we've got to do is see how we go under a sterner examination.
Just on a couple of other matters, Wayne, just how are Alan Wynne-Jones and Justin Tipuric? Obviously, they've come back from the Lions tour.
Yeah, I've spoken to them both. Obviously, very disappointed picking up injuries when they did. And it's just the downside of the game, isn't it? And it's the same for Lee. So you feel for anybody that picks up any sort of injury, really, because you train so hard to get to the top of the game, and to have it taken away so early on is disappointing for all 3.
Justin, we've heard about Alan Wynne possibly coming back. Just in Justin, because he's obviously gone under the radar a bit. Was it a serious one, Wayne? Do you expect him back for the start of the season or the autumn internationals?
Look, I spoke to them both just straight after their injuries, really, within 24 hours. So I haven't had a chance to speak to them since then. But look, any time you're sent home, you understand that it's got to be a reasonably significant injury to be sent home. So look, we just are hoping that they get into their recovery and they get back on the road to recovery as soon as possible. Obviously, I'll be in touch with them once we get these games out of the way.
Okay, thank you, Wayne. Good luck on the weekend.
Well, you've been briefed on it now, Wayne. So thoughts on some of the Welsh players' performances last night?
Say again?
I said now you've been briefed on it. Just thoughts on some of the Welsh players' performances for the Lions last night, Josh Navidi in particular.
Yeah, no, I didn't watch the game. So I've been busy preparing this team. I will watch it, obviously. I've heard that they both went reasonably well.
In terms of playing in the Principality Stadium with a crowd, we know that everything's a bit on the kind of seesaw 50-50 at the moment. How grateful you are that you can play at home without having to have that kind of thing in the back of your head with the COVID situation if you'd gone abroad, for example?
Oh, look, we would have loved to have gone abroad. You know, what you got to realise is we've been in the same hotel pretty much for months on end now. And you look forward to testing yourself away from home. We haven't had that opportunity. The New Zealand and Japanese tours were taken away from us, as well as Uruguay and Argentina. So we're disappointed about that. You know, we were looking forward to that. But certainly playing at home is something we love doing, and it's something different playing, you know, and training in the heat that we've got here today, for example. So yeah, it's a different challenge, but we certainly do miss not being able to travel.
You spoke about, you know, meeting some of the players you hadn't met before. I'm just talking about in terms of the growth of some of the players, especially the younger ones. How pleased have you been with that?
Yeah, really, really pleased. Everybody's, you know, shone up really, really well in terms of the workload, and no one's shying away from the hard work that's been put in front of them. And as you saw on the weekend, some of them got a taste and did very well, I thought. So, you know, learnings for everybody, and we keep rolling that saying out, but that's exactly what this series is about, so that we can then settle on a squad going forward with a view of the Rugby World Cup in 2023. So I've been really impressed with everybody, you know, so whether or not they get to play in a test match, we're learning a lot just in the training sessions alone.
Last one from me. Given that you got, you know, quite a few players away with the Lions, and you're building more players now, how excited, impressed are you about your squad looking forward? Because this is all about building, isn't it?
It is, and we're definitely building the depth. There are some players that have put their hand up, and which is great for us going forward, because, you know, the second row, for argument's sake, is well documented with Jake going and now Corey going. And with Adam Beard, Alan Wynne, and Will Rowland stepping up, then it was an opportunity for young Ben Carter and others in this group. So, and I think we've learned a lot. So I think we're in a pretty good space. We've just got to keep giving these guys some experience, so that when it comes to the World Cup, you know, they're not one or two test matches in, they're sort of in double figures plus.
Brilliant. And sorry about that Lions joke. It obviously wasn't very funny. Have a good one Saturday.
That's all right, no problem.
Hi, Wayne. Just a quick one on this side. I noticed that, you know, you spoke about building depth and things a lot on Saturday and Thursday just gone. 3 changes to the side. Was that pre-planned, like you said, to give the side a chance against Canada to get their feet under the table and then go against Argentina?
Yeah, well, it was a sign of respect for our opponents in Argentina with what they've achieved in the last 12 months. And we know it's going to be, you know, a very, very tough series. So to get a game under their belt first and get all the nerves and all the firsts out of the way in that Canadian week has been a plus. And then, you know, what we didn't want to do is have one side then throw in 9-10 changes for the next, then 9-10 for the last one. So we're going to get a bit of continuity. Look, we'll reassess things after this test against Argentina. There may well be some more changes for the last one, but we wanted to give them a good opportunity to go well and put their best foot forward, if you like, in this first test against Argentina. So the hit out against Canada for combination's sake was what we were after.
On Owen Lane is a guy who, when he can string some games together, looks very threatening at regional level. What sort of opportunity is this for him personally, and, you know, how excited are you to see him get out there in a Wales jersey again?
Yeah, well, if my memory serves me, his 2 test matches he's had to date were probably against Ireland in a World Cup warm-up, and then it would have been at the World Cup. So on both occasions, I thought he did really well. So you're right in terms of the injuries, and he hasn't had a consistent run. And of course, he got the red card. So we left him out of the Canadian game and just worked him hard on his fitness levels. He's worked really, really hard over the last 2.5 weeks. And so we're giving him an opportunity, which he's going to relish. He's like a cat on a hot tin roof. So with the injuries he's had, he's really looking forward to this opportunity. So hopefully he'll go very well.
What are you hoping that he can bring to this side? I mean, he's a big guy who can move at speed.
He is, and you know, we know what we've got out there in South Africa with the Lions. We've got some pretty exciting back 3 players, and you know, now it's an opportunity for these boys because, you know, we need to be 2 or 3 deep in each position, and back three is no different. So, you know, young Tommy's had a go. Jonah gets his second opportunity, but first on the wing really with Lee's injury. We have a look at Owen. So, you know, we'll be in a good position at the end of the series to sort of knuckle down on a squad for the autumn series.
Just finally from myself, I know a bit of time has passed since Lee had his scans and whatnot. Is there any clearer picture on his timescale for a return yet?
On who, sorry?
On Lee Halfpenny, sorry.
He will have surgery, and he'll have that in a couple of weeks' time. So we'll know more once it's like anything, you know, sometimes it's a relatively minor procedure and they go in and it's a lot worse. Other times they suspect it's worse and it's not so bad. So we won't know until we hear back from the surgeon, but he will have surgery, and that'll be in a couple of weeks' time.
All right, cheers, Wayne.